work out at my new apartment complex. The thing is about my apartment complex is that it's brand new and there's like nobody in it. There's I think they got 1 or 2 or 3 residents. I didn't see anything more than that.
No, there isn't.
And so it'll fill up pretty quickly. Because I think they just opened.
Yeah,
they just opened. So it's beautiful. I mean, I love my apartment. It's absolutely brand new. There's nobody in it, ever been in it, and so.
Yeah, there is. On the corner? Yeah.
Yeah, some of those photos are old, so
Yeah.
What I'll have to do is I'll have to take a picture with my camera and send it to you.
Yeah, now that he's got a smartphone, he can take pictures with his smartphone camera and send them to you.
Which I won't do, but that's okay.
Tom refuses to be dragged into the 21st century, even kicking and screaming.
At least not on smartphones. I will definitely use my digital camera to take the pictures.
See, that's the thing. Most people don't have digital cameras anymore. They use their smartphones.
I'm sorry if I'm so 1990s, but I will use my digital camera to take better pictures than this stupid Chinese imitation of an iPhone. I think they call it a J phone. I'm not sure which one.
The last digital camera I had was 10 megapixels, and cameras today are running as high as 40.
Yeah.
Well,
I can tell you that my J phone is probably running about 0.8.
It's got to be more than mine.
Oh, it's
1.9.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible. As a phone, yes. As far as visual or camera, that's what I needed was a phone. I've got 2 chips. I've got oil. I got Cheem, which are the 2 networks here. So I'm all handled in, and they're all set up. And I will be more than happy to tell you what my phone numbers are as soon as I know what they are. I didn't bother to look, but I will certainly look. Right. Yeah. Other than that, we're just fun in the sun. I got to prioritize. I've set myself up with a budget of 500 AIs, which is the equivalent of about $200. And I'm going to prioritize. The first thing I'm going to get is a bed, which is a single bed. Then the second thing I'll get is a refrigerator, which is geladeira, and they're not anywhere near as big. Yeah, it is. And then after that, I'll get a microonda, which is a microwave. And yeah, that comes next. They're not very expensive. They're stand-up closets. They have doors in the front. They're not. They're wide enough to handle clothes. To hang up in. And then they have. They're fairly tall. They're about probably 5 feet to 6 feet tall. Okay. And then they are, I don't know, it depends on the size you get. You can get them pretty wide if you want to, but they basically have a hanger in the top, and so you can hang your clothes there, and then at the bottom they have shelves. Or sometimes they'll have drawers that you can put your clothes in. So they basically run, no, probably not. And then, so I'll probably get a guarda-roupa, and I also need an estante, which is a kind of a bookcase or a standing bookcase, or whatever you want to call it, for stuff in the bathroom, on the side. So they have no cabinets at all. Nothing. They don't build the sinks into cabinets. They just literally attach the sink to the wall, and you see the plumbing at the bottom. That's the way it goes. But it's okay. I mean, but it's very nice. I mean, it's porcelain and granite all the way through the place. It's beautiful. And unlike Andy, this is a brand new standard building too, because like Andy's building, maybe I can show you this is what the average, the normal window looks like. Notice there's no glass. It has basically, these are interior shutters. They come from the interior, and they'll open and close like this if you want them to close. But that's as far as you can get them, and they don't close all the way. And then on the outside, they have some kind of metal, bar so people can't get in. But that's as far as you can get these things to close. And but mine, instead, the way the guy that built it is an interesting system. Inside the building, first of all, the apartments are inside the master building. the levels of security of this thing are like 6 levels deep, and it's a very secure building. And the second thing is that all of my windows have thick.
Glass.
Well, they call it vidru here. It is,
Yeah.
but it's a form of like plexiglass that is very difficult to break through. So, but there's no air conditioning here. I mean, you don't need it because of the wind, and so the glass. You could seal yourself in if you want to, but you probably won't. So everything opens with no problem. But the way that the heat and everything is designed in this building to escape is it escapes through a duct system from the ceiling naturally, and then goes higher and then out of the building, and then it pulls in cool air from the other side of the building, and then feeds it to the rooms. It's a really, really cool system, and you don't need any kind of air conditioning, and it's very, very nice. But you have to keep at least 1 or 2 windows open to do that. Now, one of the things obviously I needed to buy was curtains and curtain rods, but other than that, it's a really, really nice setup. I have a bedroom, I have a bathroom. Well, that's more than that, actually. I have a bedroom, bathroom, and then I have a sala de estar, which is basically a living room. And then I have a kitchen, separate kitchen, and then I also have a área de serviço, which is where I could put my washing machine. Yes, right. It has just they don't have dryers here.
They don't use dryers. Just hang it up in the breeze. It dries.
Just hang it up, but sure. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, fortunately, at this point, Tom does not have to do that.
That's true. But what I'll probably do is right now I'm not going to bother buying a washing machine. They're just silly expensive to run and to own here. So what I'm going to do is have a relative of Andy's ex to wash my clothes and also to come clean my apartment like once a week. Fortunately, maid services here are very cheap compared to the United States.
Well, labor costs are cheap, that's all.
Well, that was what we thought. Yeah, a little bit. Oh, I figure probably days, maybe weeks. I don't think more than that. But the good news is I'm only 2.5 blocks away from Andy's. So, I mean, it's a real quick walk. So if I need to, I can work here on his internet until it gets connected. So I won't. Yes, it's very nice. But, you know, I'm going to have to just figure out how to work that. But we'll see how it goes. Oh, of course they do. Of course they do. Yeah, they have light fixtures in every room. Now, that's not necessarily true of the older apartments. You know, the older apartments have a real problem. I've noticed this, that even Andy's apartment here, which isn't all that old, has problems with its electrical outlets and lights. Sometimes they don't work. And
That's the only one, though.
Yeah, I know, but the last apartment you had one that wasn't even grounded.
Oh, well, that was a mess.
Yeah.
You know.
So it depends on how old it is, and
that building's 40 years old.
Yeah, exactly. It's a 40-year-old building, and it was really falling apart. But this new building this guy built is, and the guy's name is Chino. He's a real nice guy. So I don't have to buy lamps or anything. As Andy said, he's a perfectionist, and he made sure that it was very, very livable. So, like in just my apartment alone, there's at least what would we say, 6? Yeah, there were 6 fixtures for the lamps. So outlets everywhere. I mean, like he did a great job on outlets. So no problem. No. Yeah, that's typical. For the old houses down here, that's very typical. In fact, here in some of the older houses, there's no electrical wiring at all.
Yeah, put it in afterwards. They built the houses, and the houses later, people who lived there, strung wire in the ceilings and
Yeah.
so on, you know, like wherever they could do it in. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And even, I mean, some of the poorer neighborhoods, there isn't even, they're not even hooked up to water.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, they don't even have water in some places.
And if they do have water, you have to pay for your water, and that's an expense per month. So everybody's very careful, you know, about the amount of water they use, you know, and this causes problems, you know, like in bathrooms, it's very difficult, you know.
You know, the plumbing here is one of the really bad sides of Brazil. For example, you can't put anything like toilet paper down the
You don't put,
in the
yeah, in the
toilets.
older buildings, yeah,
You can't do that because
can't do it.
it'll
The
absolutely
system's just
clog
not
with
built
it.
for it.
Yeah, it's not built for it. You know, et cetera, et cetera. No, they have sewage system, but it's not a good one.
Well, no, it's just, I taught 6 engineers, professional engineers from CAGESI, which is the water agency, when I first got here, and they explained to me all about, they handle both systems, the water system and the wastewater system, or waste system, and they explained to me about how it works. And but a lot of the pipe infrastructure underneath the city is very old and was built, you know, like not for modern use and not for the volume of use that they get now. So it became a big problem in terms of the waste that was going through it, and so it's been pretty well that way for many years, that you don't put paper down the system because the paper clogs up the pipes. And it's a major problem for the engineers to try and dig up the pipes where the blockage occurs with the paper and fix it, you know? So they just, nobody uses, even in, like in new neighborhoods where the piping is all brand new, you might be able to get away from that. But as far as I'm aware, pretty well everywhere you do the same thing. You know, nobody puts the paper down the toilet.
Brazil tends to lag North America probably about 20, 30 years in infrastructure standards.
I mean, some of the infrastructure is so old.
Well, the biggest problem is that Brazil has not had the money, you know, nationally to do this kind of stuff. And they do infrastructure investments, unlike the U.S. that does it every year. They do it in kind of surges during periods of, you know, when they've got prosperity, which is going on right now. They're doing I mean, Brazil is undergoing right now a big improvement in their in their infrastructure in general.
Yeah.
The last big one before this that I know about happened in the 19 teens and 20s. So that's where a lot of this old infrastructure of the waste system came. A lot of it was built in the 1920s, and you can imagine